Big cats rule the wildlands of most of the world's continents, and they have done so for millions of years. Although many species and genera have gone extinct over the ages, there is still a sizable range of wild felines around the world. Chief among these is the tiger, the largest of all cats, an apex predator that stalks the jungles of its native Asia, as well as the heart of anyone who fits on its diverse menu. On the ground, in the trees, and even in the water, the tiger reigns supreme. Given this adaptability, it is only natural to wonder how tigers would fare in another domain. The Amazon, for example. Could the tiger adapt to the climate, prey, and potential rivals? Or would it be wiped out by the unfamiliar? Let's talk about it. Where and how do tigers live? The tiger, aka Panthera tigris, has been around since 3 million years ago. When it branched off from other Panthera species, it is believed to have been descended from Panther blythea, a big cat with the oldest fossil record. Blythea fossils were first discovered in the Ngari prefecture of China's Tibet Autonomous Region. Experts still debate whether Blythea was the common ancestor of all pantherines, including jaguars, lions, and leopards. However, there is a strong consensus that it was at least a branch-off point that later evolved into tigers and snow leopards. The earliest tiger fossils were discovered in Lanshan County, China, and they placed the animal in the early Pleistocene. Studies in the early 2020s have indicated that modern tiger subspecies evolved from an Asiatic common ancestor around 100,000 years ago. Before the turn of the millennium, taxonomists believed that there were up to 9 tiger subspecies. However, this was later revised to acknowledge only 2: Asia mainland tigers, Panthera tigris, and Greater Sunda Island tigers, Panthera tigris sondatia. Historically, the tiger ranged across most of Asia, from eastern Turkey and Afghanistan to India and China. They also ranged as far north as Siberia and as far south as the aforementioned Sunda Islands. During this time, there were over 100,000 tigers in the wild. However, they now occupy less than 10% of this distribution, chiefly due to habitat loss and hunting. Now, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, there are about 3,500 tigers in the wild, placing the species well into the endangered category. The Caspian tiger of Turkey and Central Asia, as well as the Bali and Javan tigers, are 3 subgroups that have been wiped out in the last 500 years. Tigers generally live in a wide range of forest environments, and they have key adaptations for their specific regions. Tigers in the Russian and Chinese Far East live in pine and mixed forests along the Amur River. These Siberian tigers have adapted thicker fur and slower metabolisms that help them bulk up to endure the region's brutal winters. Because of these adaptations, Amur tigers are the biggest cats on Earth today. In India, the Bengal tiger is leaner and has a darker coat with less fur to help it deal with the hotter tropical climate. These tigers live in evergreen forests, dry forests, floodplains, and mangrove swamps. Bengal tigers are fast, and they are very strong swimmers. Tigers in the Southeast Asian mainland and islands live in evergreen forests, swamps, montane woodlands, and deciduous forests. Interestingly, island tigers, like the Sumatran tiger, tend to be the smallest because of a phenomenon called insular dwarfism. This hinders physical growth through the physical restriction of food availability or breeding options. The tigers of the Himalayas thrive in mountainous woodlands up to 14,000 feet above sea level. Like most cats, tigers are predominantly solitary creatures when they are not rearing cubs. They only ever cross paths to reproduce or to dispute over territory with members of the same sex. Territories vary greatly in size due to location, season, and sex. Mature males typically have larger territories that overlap with the territories of two or more females. Studies show that a tiger's territory can vastly increase in winter when pickings are slimmer and decrease in the rainy seasons. Females usually set up territories relatively close to where they were born. Young males usually take more time to gain their own domains because they have to grow large enough to challenge mature males. Tigers are largely nocturnal, beginning their activity at dusk. Most of the daytime is spent sleeping. In fact, these great cats can slumber for 18 hours a day. Despite their preference for solitude, tigers do have reasonable sociability, especially across the sexes and if there is a direct relation. Males and females will share kills on occasion and even play and swim together outside of mating season. Male tigers will also acknowledge their cubs and share meals with them and their mothers, but they play no active role in day-to-day parenting. Females are generally avoidant of each other unless they are closely related. A female with cubs will be more aggressive or more cautious around unfamiliar individuals. Males are less tolerant of each other at the best of times and are more likely to choose violence upon encounters. A male with a rich territory may share it with squatter males if they show satisfactory submission, but such a scenario is almost out of the question during mating season or cub rearing. Infanticide is also common among tigers. Males will kill cubs that aren't their own if given the chance. Naturally, tigers are not very friendly to other animals. They will kill anything they can catch, even if it's just for sport. In fact, tigers routinely kill fellow predators that they do not eat. Wolves, leopards, lions. Prey ranges from rodents and reptiles to birds, monkeys, and fish. However, tigers prefer large mammals like deer, pigs, buffalo, and juvenile elephants. Their large size and powerful jaws give them the necessary power to bring down mega herbivores with minimal fuss. Tigers kill by snapping a victim's neck or suffocation. Their large bodies allow them to devour more than 70 pounds of flesh in one sitting. As apex predators, tigers only fear other tigers and human beings. People have decimated tiger populations with weapons, traps, and habitat destruction, but sometimes tigers bite back. The infamous Champawat demon, a tiger in western Nepal, killed and ate over 400 people between 1895 and 1897. In India, statistics indicate that tigers kill at least 55 people every year. Human encroachment is the leading cause of these deadly encounters. How is the Amazonian ecosystem? The Amazon is a massive tropical environment that consists of rainforests, the world's second longest river, and 10% of all biological species in the world. It is a rich tapestry of flora and fauna that has evolved for over 50 million years. The Amazon rainforest spans an area of 5.5 million square kilometers, which is twice the size of India and nearly 30 times the size of Great Britain. This rich part of the world is home to over 40,000 plant species, 2,000 fish, 400 amphibians, 378 reptiles, and 428 mammals. There is also an incredible 2.5 million known species of insect. Major predators in the region are the Brazilian wandering spider, black caiman, mountain lions, piranha, harpy eagles, and green anacondas. Of course, also lurking in the shadows of the Amazon is another massive cat, the jaguar. Panthera onca is a highly evolved killer and cultural icon in these parts, much like its striped cousin in the east. Jaguars employ intelligence, stealth, speed, agility, and power to capture the Amazon's craftiest prey. The Amazon is also home to hundreds of indigenous tribes that have coexisted with the vibrant ecosystem for millennia. Unfortunately, the Amazon faces its own existential crisis thanks to human activity. Deforestation, mining, and illegal poaching continue wreaking havoc on this delicate ecosystem, and numerous species are being pushed to the brink. How would tigers fare in the Amazon? Determining how tigers would fare in the Amazon is fairly tricky. On paper, tigers would have ample space to form territories, breed, and boost their wild numbers. Additionally, the tropical warmth and abundant water would be perfect. The lush forests would also be ideal for the tiger's camouflage as it stalks prey. The rivers and swamps would be no obstacle, as tigers are very powerful swimmers. In all likelihood, tigers would dominate the Amazon and quickly depose jaguars as the region's apex predators. Creatures like the tapir, capybara, sloths, otters, and even caiman wouldn't know what hit them. However, the real problem lies in the long-term sustainability of tigers in the Amazon. As mentioned before, the ecosystem is delicate, and the introduction of a mega predator like the tiger would be a significant change. The tapir, one of the few animals capable of sating a full-grown tiger, is already endangered due to human activity. If tigers were introduced, the tapir would be a sitting duck that would be killed faster than the rate of reproduction. Tapirs give birth to one calf after a 13-month gestation. Of course, the Amazon is also home to several deer species, but most of these are listed as vulnerable by the IUCN. Marsh deer and brocket deer would be ample meals for tigers, but their numbers would need boosting. Again, habitat loss has played a big role in limiting their numbers. Adding tigers to the equation would not be wise. Ultimately, there is a reason why the jaguar is the biggest cat in this region, because that is what the Amazon can naturally support. The region doesn't have mega herbivores like elephants and buffalo, nor does it have large deer populations. Therefore, it can only support smaller cats like jaguars, mountain lions, ocelots, and jaguarundis. Large cats like the American lion and saber-toothed cats, both of which were larger than modern tigers, likely died out due to the fall of the mega herbivores they hunted. Smaller predators like jaguars managed to adapt, so simply placing tigers in the Amazon could work for a generation or two, but the environment would likely weed them out over time. Or even worse, their introduction would squeeze out competitors like the jaguar towards extinction. The best approach would be to bring in small numbers of dwarfed island tigers like the Sumatran tiger, which has lower caloric needs than Bengal or Siberian tigers. This should also be combined with the introduction of potential prey species like white-tailed deer that breed relatively quickly. Of course, we also have to talk about how tigers and humans would coexist in this scenario. While jaguars are an occasional nuisance to farmers, they seldom attack human beings directly. Tigers are another kettle of fish, and regardless of whether they are proven man-eaters or not, they represent a different level of danger to livestock and humans. This would immediately put a target on their backs and lead to hunting. We also can't forget about the poachers that would run riot in the relatively unrestricted rainforest. Tigers are among the most sought-after quarry in the world. All in all, tigers could survive and even thrive in the Amazon, but they would need our help to do so sustainably. Conclusion. With that, we've reached the end of today's video. Thank you again for watching, and do share and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ding the bell to keep up with more great animal content. Bye for now.